Father, we thank you for Skittles. Oh, grace over blended. Oh, I misunderstood that. I thought you were talking about grace over the Skittles.
Because sometimes you don't always want advice. There'll always be people who either don't be married, don't have kids, that always want to tell you how to be married and how to be a parent. It's the weirdest thing to me. Every situation is different. Sometimes you just need a little grace.
Everybody has to give themselves grace. Community is where you find grace.
People don't know what they don't know. They pretend to know.
I don't give advice. I'll just share with you if it were me. I feel like with any candies, I'm going for the red one.
It's okay not to know it all. It's okay to be scared. As my husband says, the bowl is filled with grace.
All right, bow your head, close your eyes.
Come on.
Bow your head and close your eyes.
Why?
Bow your head and close your eyes.
We're not doing this. Oh my God.
The devil thought he had me.
All right. Okay.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for Skittles. We thank you, oh God.
Gregory.
Yes.
You responded.
Don't play with me. Don't ever call me by my government name. I thought we were saying grace over these Skittles.
Grace over blended.
Oh, grace over blended. Oh, I misunderstood that.
Yes.
You're talking about grace over blended families.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about grace over the Skittles.
Because sometimes you don't always want advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when you get okay, let's talk about this a little bit more. So when you're dating, people immediately, family, friends, oh, when you get married, right? Mm-hmm. Then when you get married, oh, when you having kids, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you have kids, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it. They always want to give you advice. And first of all, they don't take their own advice. And there'll always be people who either don't be married, don't have kids, that always want to tell you how to be married and how to be a parent. It's the weirdest thing to me. Mm-hmm. But when you're in a blended situation, you don't want to always hear that.
Yeah.
Because you're not in my shoes. Every situation is different.
Oh.
Is that right? Different.
Okay. That's different. That's different.
Anyway, but sometimes you just need a little grace.
Okay. So that's what we're talking about today?
That's what we're talking about today. Come on, y'all.
Grace?
Give us some grace.
Families. We don't need advice. We need grace.
Just grace.
Let's go.
Yes, let's do it. All right. So when you initially got married, and I want to kind of bring it back and then we'll be in the present. Do you feel like it was a rush for everything? It was a rush to get married, rush to have children, rush. Everybody was telling you,
no.
You should do it this way. You should do it that way.
No.
Greg, don't do this. Greg, you should do this.
No.
No?
No.
Maybe women have more pressure.
Yeah, women do have more pressure. Men don't get pressure to get married.
Okay, women definitely do.
I mean, men at a certain age, after playing the field, for a long enough time, it's like you need to get yourself together and find you a nice, clean girl, nice young girl. Over here at the Miss Black Awareness pageant. You got to find you a nice, clean girl and settle down.
We're in 1960. What are you talking about?
That's normally the advice that men get. Okay. After a certain age, they're told to settle down.
Okay.
But the pressure and the advice about when are you going to get married? When are you going to have children? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? That typically happens to the woman.
Definitely happens to the woman.
Before I got married, the first time my pressures were internal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were young, we were in church. Mm-hmm. I've always been in church, so I had that pressure of. I always had that pressure of, doing it the right way, not shacking, not living in sin, not fornicating, sex before marriage was wrong. You know, is, you know, however you want to say it, is wrong, was wrong. You know, marriage out of wedlock, you know, babies out of wedlock.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So those are the things that I was up against, which kind of pushed me to say, if I'm going to be doing certain things, that I should make the decisions to do it the right way.
So when you didn't do it the way others felt and they're telling you how, do you feel like they were more subject to giving you advice instead of giving you grace? Do you feel like everything was always, you should, okay, I get it, but you should do it this way, not giving a full understanding of where you are?
The advice and the lack of grace on my part came when I got a divorce.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have pressure to get married. I didn't have pressure when I was in a marriage. Now, in my first marriage, you know, we belonged to a church that believed in everything was positivity, positive affirmations. Everything was too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed. You know, so there was a lot of pretending.
Oh, see what I'm saying?
Back there again?
See how it all comes back?
You know, there was a lot of not truly being honest with how I felt or how we felt. So the advice, I would say in that regard, the advice during the marriage was, you know, you don't tell nobody when you're having troubles. You don't, you know, you when you get out there in the street, you know, you profess positivity over your marriage. You know, if anybody asks you how things are going, you say that it's going wonderful. It's going great. It's going great. When in all actuality, and I developed those practices, I kept that going. But in all actuality, I was going home. I was miserable. She was miserable. We weren't talking to each other. We were falling out. We were arguing. We were fussing, you know. So from that regard, I guess you could say in my marriage, in my first marriage, I could have used the grace of people recommending that we be real. But to keep going, it was after the divorce that I felt like I got more advice, or not even after. I would say it was during the divorce process when I was making the decision to leave and go through with the divorce. You know, then the advice was, you stay for your children. You know, God's not going to honor that. God's not going to honor that divorce. God's not going to do this. God's not going to do that. God's not going to be pleased. God's not going to. You won't be able to have. How are you going to be able to minister to people, you know, who are married once you've been through a divorce? It's going to damage your witness. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. So that was the advice I was getting. I wasn't getting the grace of, are you happy? I wasn't getting the grace of, are you healthy?
And what's so crazy, you know, growing up in the church, you know, same here, understanding that why do we do that? Why, as believers, the church, we so quick to say, oh, but you shouldn't do this, oh, but you shouldn't do that, when they probably doing it themselves, and not extending the grace of knowing or getting a better understanding of where that individual is at that moment, especially when it comes to divorce in the church. I think now it's not as, you're not being crucified as much as you were, you know, when we were younger. That's unheard of. Oh no, no. You are supposed to work through it. At the times you were taught, you bear it, and you keep going. No matter how unhappy you are, marriage goes through the ups and downs, you know. But when it comes to the point that it takes away from who you are as an individual, and you're in a place of clearly unhappiness and your peace is not even there anymore, I think, you know, grace should be given. In all, to bring it back full circle, as a woman, we're initially, you know, at a certain age, is when you're gonna meet that person. Then when you meet that person, when you're gonna get married, you have to get married, when you're gonna have the kids. And then it's not, and then when you're meeting someone with kids, it's, oh, you gotta be mindful of this, Leslie. Oh, make sure you don't do this, because that's that person's child, and he got to. When I started dating Greg, one of my friends, close friends, told me, well, you know, he got 2 kids. What don't you say? Oh, I didn't know that. Of course, I know this. Well, are you sure you're able to handle? Do you know her? Do you know their situation? Do you know me? Give me the grace to say, okay, you know, hey, I want to be prayerful with you in this. And, you know, if you ever feel uncomfortable, if you ever feel like you need to have someone to talk to, I'm here. But we don't do that. We always go for the,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
well,
saying?
I think, yes, I do. And the sad part is that most of the time when people are offering advice, you know, like I make it a point to always share that I don't give advice. I will share with the person what I would do if it were me. Like I say, if I were in that situation, this is probably what I would do. You've got to pray and ask God to show you what you should do in the situation, you know, because I don't give advice. I'll just share with you, if it were me, what I would do. I think that when people, give advice, oftentimes it's with good intention. The problem is that it's also oftentimes unsolicited.
Correct.
So it's like,
Hello.
I appreciate what you're saying, but, and then like you said earlier, you know, especially when you know, guess what? In our marriage and in our relationship, there were times when, and there are still times that I'll say to you, I'll say, you tell me this about the girls. And I'll say, there's going to come a time when the boys get to a certain age and you're going to do, because you'll say to me, you still do this for them. You still do that for them. You still look out for them to do this. You still look out for that, you know what I'm saying? And I'll say to you, you're going to understand when the boys get to be a certain age. That is always the, the grace that I give people that are giving advice that are coming from situations that either haven't lived it or haven't experienced it yet.
But but the thing about it is, people on the outside looking in tend to judge, you know, blended situations or what they don't see or what they don't know. You don't know what goes on in that home. You don't know how that bonus dad may have had to step up, which that has happened quite often. And let's be honest and let's be real. You know, we're sitting here talking to my husband, who is a bio dad. And this is not to put anyone down, but then you have those bonus fathers that they're stepping up for the bio dad that's not doing anything. Oh, and then from the outside looking in, it's just like you want to tell that person how to be a dad to somebody else's child who isn't being a father themselves. You know what I'm saying? And on the flip side, the same thing with moms. You know, you can't dissect or pick apart something that you have no clue what it is to be a part of, especially when you're in your own situation and you can't thrive in that one, or your own family isn't thriving. And it's not to put anyone down. It's just, let's be honest, let's uplift. Let's give people grace. It's not an easy walk for anyone, being a blended family or not, marriage or not. Relationships are hard, however you want to look at them. Now, I do have a question though. Do you think, you know, when we talk about, you know, and I hope those who are listening and viewing, you know, as a part of Before You Get Married, you know, we went to premarital counseling. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think every couple should do it. I also think couples should go through counseling as they're, you know, are married throughout the years, and because you change, you evolve throughout your marriage. Do you think when it comes to blended families, do you think it's important for other blended families to counsel each other instead of, like, I wouldn't necessarily go to someone who doesn't know our lives. You know, I think it would be great if premarital counseling would focus on that too. Yeah. Let's focus on the truth about what we're seeing in statistics and what's out there, and how, you know, right now you're seeing more and more blended families. And we'll get a little more into that because we have some information about that, you know. Yeah. You know, so
I think that that's the importance of a community.
Yeah.
I do think that blended families should be an area that should be focused on in premarital counseling, because now, as you say, we have some statistics that you're going to share, but for the most part, at this point in 2026, if for the most part, for those that are dating and those that are looking to be in a serious relationship, 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up in a blended situation.
Yes.
So I think that it could help that when things start to progress and you start to look at marriage and things of that sort, you do need a community like the Bonus Club, like the My Dope Blend podcast that you can tune into and connect with, or as you said, in churches, premarital counseling, or having small groups that are focused on blended families that can give you an outlet of people who have actually lived it, because people who have been in blended families tend to give more grace than advice. That's where the grace typically comes from, because they can identify with, where you are and where the walk is. We talked earlier this season about pretending.
Yes.
And I shared with you that the reality of it is, I've never been a bonus parent. I've only been a parent. I became a parent at a young age. You know what I'm saying? And by young age, I'm talking 20, 24, but I got married at a young age. I got married at 21. So I got married at 21. I was a father by 24. So in the grand scheme of things and looking back, I had children at a young age to me.
You did.
And with that, all I've ever known is to be a bio dad. Even with our boys, I'm their biological father. All I've ever known is bio dad. When you and I got together, you instantaneously became potential bonus mom to about to be bonus mom to bonus mom. And now you've been bonus mom for 10 years. When it comes time to have conversations about feeling like you've been pretending, I can't identify with that. Only another bonus parent can identify with the stories that you shared about having to pretend as a bonus parent, because there are things that you have to cover up. There are things that you can't admit to. There are things that you have to lie about and say that it was the bio parent's idea when knowing it was your idea, or things you'll never be able to share, moments that you'll never be able to express that you were the one that curated it, or you were the one that helped with. It takes another bonus parent to identify with that. So the grace is going to come from other people that are in the community, is all I'm saying.
So what?
Not to cut you off, but what I'm saying is that even as a bio parent, I can see how I can come across as insensitive to the bonus parents' experience.
That. No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So
you don't know. You said something. You said something in the episode that we talked about pretending. You said I'm not in your shoes.
Right.
And I wanted to go back on that in that episode, but I didn't get a chance to. When my feet hurt and I'm uncomfortable, you always offer to rub my feet to give me comfort. You extend that to me because you know I'm hurting.
Right.
To me, that is the same thing when you're talking about grace. Grace is having a relationship with the heart, not with the action.
Okay.
Right? So your heart, out of love for me, my feet are hurting. So the thing you do is you rub them to make it feel better. You don't give me advice and tell me, hey, you should have wore them shoes, you should have wore the other one, blah, 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 even though that might be in the back of your head. But for that moment, you're extending grace to me because I'm in pain.
Right.
Because those are the shoes I wanted to wear because it looked right with my outfit, which made me in turn happy. That's, to me, how people should look at this type of dynamic. That the shoe doesn't always feel good and it doesn't always fit. And sometimes I just need you to rub my feet or give me something for support in my shoe to make it feel a little bit better. That's it.
I mean, I get it, and that's a great, analogy. In the church, we would call that revelation.
Oh, good Lord. Here we go.
Had, that you can make the comparison, to make it come to life. That was illustrated.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
So, and I get it. I just think that it's just...
People don't know what they don't know.
They don't.
They don't know what they don't know, but they pretend to. Oh, God, we keep going back to this word. They pretend to know.
Yeah. Or they just think that
or they think they know.
But you don't know until you have lived it or experienced it or walked those, walked that pathway, walked in those shoes that hurt. You know what I'm saying? Until a person has walked in those hurting shoes.
And in that is the reason to me that we create this type of community where we're here. We're standing in to give that grace. Our platform is not just to sit here and give advice unsolicited or not to you all. It's to share our experiences because we walked in those same shoes. To say it's coming all back full circle. We walked in those shoes. I feel the bunion.
Oh boy.
For real, let's be real. I feel the bunion. I feel that big toe.
Oh boy.
I feel the heel hurting, and sometimes you don't know if you want to be in a high heel, a flat, a sneaker. You don't know what shoe you want to wear at what point because that's what it looks like and blended. You blend in every type of shoe. Every situation may cause for a different pair to wear. And with that, we're creating a place where you can be able to know when to choose which shoe to wear and how to wear it, And
that place is called the Bonus Club.
It's the Bonus Club.
You got to make sure that you go to the website, www.mydopeblend.com.
Yes.
Go to Let's Blend and join the Bonus Club. That's how you remain a part of the community. It's just a little more intimate. You got the podcast where we get a chance to share moments and conversations and stories like this. And then we get a little deeper.
Go deeper and deeper. Yes, we
community.
Do.
Community is where you find grace.
Community is where you found grace, yeah.
Yeah, because according to these stats, these statistics that you have, this blended community is pretty widespread. What was some of the things that you were able to see on the website? Wasn't there a website that you had found?
So the website that I found was called Love to Know. And so this article is a few years old, but when you look at it, the grand scheme of things, it says 16% of children live in blended families, which at that time probably was 16%. I'm thinking it is probably probably double, you're at 30 or 40% now. And then
so you said it was 16 or 60?
It was 16.
Oh, 16. Okay, I thought.
And then per the U.S. Bureau of Census says 1,300 new bonus families are formed each day, and I know for a fact that probably has doubled. You're probably looking from 1,300 now, probably to about 2,000.
Because folks out there making babies, you've been stroking.
But this is what's crazy.
That's what you've been doing.
It says 40% of families are U.S. blended. You're probably looking more like 60, 70%. But I thought something that was really crazy is that they're saying that more and more that you will see more women, 6 out of 10, that will be in a blended situation, come out of divorce and bring children into a blended situation. 6 out of 10. And that was a few years ago. So if you're looking at 6 out of 10 now.
It's 10 out of 10.
Nine. I
said 9 times out of 10.
But in
you end up in a blended situation.
But in some form of fashion, it's that. And for us, it's marriage. But for not everybody, it may not be marriage.
Right.
It could be just partnership, and having multiple children. And then that partnership then comes and has kids of their own.
Right.
So it's however you look at it, but to see this and hear it, it's like, wow.
What's funny is, not to cut you off, but I remember when I was going through the divorce, we had to take a mandatory child. I can't think of what it's called, but basically it's a class where anytime there are children involved and there's a custody situation involved, that you have to take that class before you can actually go through the divorce.
Okay, so you had to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember being in that class.
It was required mediation or something?
No, it was
just something you had to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just at that time that was 2009, 2010. So I don't know if this is still the case now, but I do know that then, if you were getting a divorce and there were children involved, this was a mandatory, I can't think of what they called it, but it was child something that you had to take before you could go through the divorce. I remember that the instructor, his opening statement was, I know many of you don't believe this. He said, but he gave a certain amount of people in the room, certain statistic of people in the room, within the next 5 years will be married again.
Jesus.
Okay. So you figure that was 2010. He said within the next 5 years, a certain percentage of these people, you won't believe it, will be married again. Then he said, and after that, within 2 years, a certain percentage of that amount of people will be divorced again. So you're sitting in a room with people who are going through the divorce. A certain percentage of that people within 5 years will be married again. Now mind you, this is not a divorce class. This is a child custody class. So you're in it. So that means you know that the people that are in this class have children.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got a certain percentage of that amount of people in 5 years is going to be remarried. And a certain percentage of that amount of people within 2 years are going to be divorced again.
Jesus.
So you can't tell me
every family going to be blended.
The blending is inevitable.
Every single family.
You're going to be blended.
You're going to be blended. No, I mean, oh, Jesus. Yes, you're going to be blended.
And that was 2010.
So let me ask you this. So I'm pulling up a quote, and I love pulling up quotes because I kind of live by them actually. But before I do that, I want to say this, share a stat that 60 to 70% of all blended families, also they say marriages fail. Now, that is wild.
60 to 70%.
60 to 70%. Now that was
marriages of blended families.
Yes. Wow. Now you just went on to talk about what the custody. Right. So it's almost like.
Yeah.
So how many times do they get married? And they blend. That blended family blended to create another blend that created another blend. And we just keep blending
and blending. And they keep on
blending. You see how it all comes together?
We got all these blended babies around here. Blended babies. We're going to call them BB's kids. Baby's kids. You got BB's kids.
Oh my God. We don't die. We multiply.
Literally. Yes. Blended kids.
Oh my God.
Blended kids.
Baby's kids. Oh my God. But no, seriously, in all seriousness. So it says, the quote says, choose grace over aggression, understanding over judgment, and beauty over chaos.
Okay.
And I like that quote because, I feel like as we're talking about premarital counseling and things like that, no, you cannot go through every scenario that you will experience in a blended situation. It's impossible. But I think it's important, just like you have to go, I think our premarital counseling was 6 weeks?
6 to 8.
6 to 8 weeks, something like that. I think when you're dealing with blended families, I think you need to carve out at least 4 weeks
of just
blended. And I think you need to include the children a part of that, because I think you have to talk through what those possible scenarios would be. And in that, it gives an opportunity to not necessarily get advice, but it's almost like collaboratively working through and coming together to extend grace to every individual that is a part of that. Understanding the mindset of everybody that is now going to be joined together. Because the truth is, we're all getting married.
Sure.
Not just mommy and daddy, or mommy and bonus and kids. We're saying I do. I think it's beautiful to include the kids, even a part of the ceremony, as a blended. I think it creates a wholeness, a beginning that gives an opportunity of grace. It chooses grace over aggression, understanding over judgment, and beauty over chaos. When people see things clearly, and when they see that everybody who's a part of the dynamic has an understanding and are working in the same direction, I think that's when people cannot judge. You judge what you don't know. You judge with what you think you see. But if there's tools, resources, that's what we're trying to provide, I think it makes the situation a little bit better. I think churches need to do a better job with that. I really, really do. And it's not because I don't think they didn't want to. I think it's a lack of understanding and a lack of just bringing up the topic.
Well, I think, too, it's also when you get into this conversation of grace, like Pastor Creflo Dollar is on a grace crusade, which I love. The thing about the conversation about grace is that it scares people.
Why do you think?
Because grace, when not fully understood, because there's also a flip side. So I'm gonna make this statement first, and I'll go back. A lot of times grace is mistaught, because grace can be misconstrued as freedom to do whatever you want to do. So, but the thing I love about people who have a full understanding of grace, again, using Pastor Creflo Dollar for an example, is an understanding that grace is something that is, it's appreciated because it's done out of love and respect for the person that's giving you grace. It's like, how do I say it? When you get grace, when you have a full appreciation of grace, a lot of times people teach grace as, you can live how you want to live. You can do what you want to do because there's grace. We're not under the law. Now we're under the grace. Now I'm getting into something deeper.
Yes, you are.
But I got to go this route to make it make sense. So it's taught that because there's grace, you can do what you want to do. You can live how you want to live. Christ forgives, God forgives, and he gives you grace, and you live another day, right? The extra step is not taught to say that you also don't want to be a disgrace to grace. Okay? And you become a disgrace to grace when you take advantage of grace and you use it. True appreciation for grace causes you to want to do right. I want to do right because I appreciate the grace that you give me. So in this case, when it comes to blending, what I mean by a lot of times, like you said, that it's not the case that a lot of churches don't do it because they don't want to do it. They just don't do it because there's a lack. It's because grace can mess with the theology of, grace can mess with people's personal theology of black and white.
Yeah.
Grace, and not to cut you off, but I want to make sure that I'm making sense on the point that I'm trying to make. So, because grace can mess with the theology of black or white, black and white, live right, holiness or nothing at all, right? Blended means that if you're talking about a blended family, that means somebody was married or somebody had a baby out of wedlock, or somebody was divorced, or it starts to mess with that black and white theology.
Now you just opened.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of churches may not know how to approach blended, because then you have to deal with what's causing The blending.
I was just about to say, so how do you blend when there are indiscretions? How do you blend in those situations? Do you extend grace?
You have to. I mean, the grace.
To that,
Listen, thank God for grace.
You know what
For
I'm
me,
saying?
I went through a divorce. The grace that I was extended from God allowed me to be forgiven for decisions and actions and things that may have been done in that time frame and in that part of my life. And out of grace, I was able to not beat up on myself, not feel, yes.
Let's pause there. But
Okay.
did you?
What?
Did you not beat up on yourself?
I did for a little while. I did. I went through the moment of, did I make the right decision? Have I ruined my family? Should I go back?
And let's be honest. And
Am I a hypocrite?
yeah. And did the church give you that grace, or because or did you feel like they were judging you?
That part of the reason why I stayed in my marriage as long as I did was because of the fear of judgment and the fear of the lack of grace.
So to our listeners and our viewers, I think that's a hard pill to swallow, because, in all things, we want to extend as Christians to not judge, to give grace to others, as God has given grace to us. People look at us, as hypocrites, because we only extend those things when it benefits and not necessarily when it's truly what it should be and constitutes what the word says.
Nobody want to teach grace until they need grace.
Until they need grace. What happened to me? What about me? But no, there's so much more to that. And when we come back for a second, I want to talk about, powerful ways we can give ourselves grace, and powerful ways that we can extend grace to each other, because I think it's truly important. So we're going to touch on that a little bit more. And in the midst of that, we want to thank our sponsors. We could not do this without them. We thank you for their love and their support, and more sponsors to come. We welcome them. And we hope you guys, love what you're hearing. We hope that it's giving you different deposits at different moments, and really helping you through whatever you may be all dealing with in your blended situation. So sponsors, hear us. Skittles, whatever, clothes. Come on, just sponsor us all right? Sponsor
because I know I'm wearing these Russell Wilson shoes right now.
Yes, all blended families. Hey, if you're blended and you got something going on, let us know. Reach out to us on Instagram with the Bonus Club and My Dope Blend. We are here to talk about all sponsorships. We welcome them.
Sure.
All right?
Sure.
Yes.
Give us some grace.
Give us some grace. No, but serious, in all seriousness. So I want to focus on 5 powerful ways where you could give grace. I can talk about one, and we can elaborate on each one if you want to do it that way. But I'm allowing myself, it says, I'm allowing myself to learn, to adjust, and ask for help, and try again as many times as I need to, for as long as I need to.
Yeah.
How does that apply? I'm allowing myself to learn, adjust, ask for help, and try again as many times as I need to, for as long as I need to.
Okay, all right, I'm going to mess with you.
Okay, that's fine.
I would ask you that.
I'm allowing myself to learn, adjust, ask for help, try again as many times as I need to.
Do you feel like you gave yourself that grace throughout the years of our blended dynamic? You are a person that strives for perfection. Okay. You are a person that does things well, and oftentimes puts pressure on yourself than others place on you.
Yes.
Do you feel like some of the pressure that you experience along the way, some of the hardships that you experience along the way in the blended process came from you not giving yourself the grace of never having done this before, not necessarily knowing how to be a blended mother?
Okay, I can say yes, you're probably right. I didn't give myself, and I'm speaking to our listeners and viewers, I didn't give myself enough grace. I was probably really hard on myself because you hear this, right? Because I wanted to get it right. I wanted to get it right out. I wanted to be all the things that I thought I needed to be for you and for them. I didn't want to be what people expected me to be, and possibly from the other side of the family, not yours. And I'm talking about their mom, and expected me to fail, expected things to not go right, hopeful that it didn't go right. I pushed forward like, no, that's not the case. That's not going to be the case. And no, I didn't give myself enough grace. You're right. I went into it. I wasn't a mom. I came in here with no kids. And then even as a girlfriend, I helped you because you were, weekends are you're busy. Sometimes I would have to do hair and pick out clothes. And I'm like, listen, I don't have no kids. Yes, I'm a girl, but this is rough. But I would be hard on myself in trying to make sure that I wasn't overstepping, but yet I was still giving them the same environment that they would get at home with their mom. So, yes.
Good. That's all I got.
Okay. So let's do another. I'm no longer expecting myself to know things I haven't experienced.
Huh.
Yes. And that's a good one for our listeners, especially for those taking from what we just talked about with when I was dating. I think it's important for those who are dating and even those that are engaged and going into a blended dynamic. Stop expecting to know everything when you're walking into this. The beauty is the unknown, because you allow yourself to create something that is specifically, uniquely yours. Yes, the kids have their own mom and she does things her way. Yes, the kids have their own dad, that he does his thing your way, but you are you. You're going to learn how to do things your way that works for them. That's a part of learning their love language and them learning yours. So stop expecting and just be.
Yes, and I would take it a step further and say, don't put the cart before the horse.
Don't put the cart before the horse, yes.
When you're dating, if you're dating a person that has children, you're not the bonus parent yet.
You're not. That is correct.
So don't try to be the bonus parent yet.
Be the bonus parent when you become the bonus
parent. You
learn the steps.
Learn, right.
Yes.
Be the girlfriend and the boyfriend.
That is right.
Of the person that has children.
That is correct.
And then as the children take it to you a little more, as she said, get to know them. You're in the getting to know you phase. You're not in the parenting phase yet. Don't let anybody push you into parenting yet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're not bonus parent until you say I do.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So.
Okay. 3, I'm choosing to be kind to myself and speak to myself with compassion instead of criticism. We are our worst enemy.
Worst critic.
We're critic, enemy. Yes, You're right. Critic is the word I meant to say, but we are. And especially in a blended situation, you'd be like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. God, dog it. Maybe I should have responded in this way. Oh, shoot. We do that. And you're going to do a lot of that. You really are. Like, should I have said this to this child? or, I didn't pick out the right clothes, or did he left me or she left me to take care of breakfast and all that. Did I fix the breakfast right? It is a constant cycle of making sure that you're doing stuff, and you have a way of beating yourself up to be, oh my God, to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Which takes you back to number one.
Yes.
It's all, full circle.
Yes.
So I would say with that, it's like, I wonder if being a blended parent is a little easier if the bonus parent is already a biological parent of a child.
I never thought about it from that aspect.
Because when you make that point, right?
When both are coming in with kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But what it sounded like, when you talked about how being, you can't beat yourself up because you didn't get everything right. Mm-hmm. Right? The reason why I made that point is because when you said that sounded like parenting, period. I've never been a bonus parent, but as a bio parent, I feel like I screw up stuff with the boys now. Mm-hmm. You're ever learning. There's no, I don't care. You can read Dr. Spock. You can read.
Dr. Spock.
Dr. Spock had a book about parenting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can read the love language. And these are amazing books, right?
Yes.
But you don't learn parenting until you are parenting. And I think that the same amazing books, like, the one that has been written by the amazing Leslie Kirkland.
I'm sorry I had to insert that.
Yeah, that was a shameless plug.
Sorry.
But I love it because you're right. But as amazing as her book is, mm-hmm. as amazing as your book is, the people that read your book, they'll be able to get great tools. They'll be able to use your book as a great resource. They'll be able to do all those things. But even when they get to the end, period, and close that book, they still are going to have to learn as they go.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So
you learn through experience.
Yeah, exactly. So whether you are a bonus parent, mm-hmm. a bio parent, mm-hmm. or all together, you know what I'm saying? You are learning as you go. You got to give yourself the grace to learn as you go.
So real quick, before we do our, little Skittles thing, mm-hmm. I want to give the last two. I am no longer allowing myself to label myself as weak or feel embarrassed because of my feelings or my limits. And then I'm allowing myself to make mistakes without shame, guilt, or criticism. And I will say, the more you learn how to just give it and let go and just be and affirm to yourself that it's okay, I can do this, I can give myself the grace, it's okay to make the mistake. They won't love you any less. It'll just make you a little bit more human. It'll actually make you more of a parent.
Yeah.
Truthfully, mm-hmm. You did it, you in it. Keep on moving. Yeah. So, all right. I did it first the last time. So I'm going to let you do it. So, guys, we have our Skittles challenge. I love this because it's the colors of the rainbow. But, of course, the color green, it just talks about, a fun event or something that you had. The purple is for a word to describe. The orange is for a situation that was, something you would want to work on. What red means. Red is all about, things that you really need to focus on that are a little bit alarming. And then, of course, you have your yellow, which focuses on a fond memory. So with that being said, I'm going to let my co-host, my husband, the bio parent, Paul, go ahead, do your thing.
Okay. Can I do it a little differently?
Yes, you can.
All right. So I'm looking at this bowl of Skittles and I have a confession.
Yes.
My confession is that I am, what's the word? I don't know if it's prejudice. I don't know if it's bias. I don't know if it's preferential, but I feel like with any candy, Skittles, Starburst, anything, I'm going for the red one.
Oh God, I was going to go for the red one too.
But
oh my God.
Well, here's the thing though.
Jesus.
Here's the thing. I love the red ones because of the flavor.
Red is really usually the best flavor.
I grew up on Kool-Aid, and the best
That's true.
Kool-Aid is not known by a flavor, it's known by a color. Fix me a cup of red Kool-Aid all day long. Red is the one that I'm going for because of the flavor of the red.
Okay.
Right? Because I prefer the red over all the other colors, I can imagine how it makes all the other colors feel.
Wow. I just caught that. Red is so strong.
Each color could be envious of the red. I can hear the yellow, I can hear the orange saying, how come I couldn't be red? So with that, I think that it's important for each of the other colors to give each other grace. The grace of, you might not be the preferred.
Oh.
You might not be everybody's first choice. You might not be what seemingly is the best choice. But grape is good. That's the Holy Ghost.
We're going to pause that one because we don't know what that was.
Listen to me. I was getting on the highway with that one.
I gave specific directions.
It's okay.
For sure.
That was good
right here.
too.
I'm picking up right here.
I think Jesus say that's good, and it goes back to the great.
Okay.
That's say that's good,
Okay.
and then let's go back to the great,
Okay.
and I'll pick up from
Okay. Yep. Uh-huh.
here.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm.
So the reality of it is, grape is equally as good.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people like grape.
A lot of people like grape.
That's true.
A lot of people love lemon.
Yes, that's true.
So yellow should give itself grace.
Mm.
Orange should be the best orange it could be. Might not be red, but give yourself grace.
Give yourself grace.
Be the best orange that you can be. Green, lime. Be the best lime that you can be. Everybody has to give themselves grace that I might not be what I think others want me to be, prefer that I be, try to give me advice to be.
Ooh.
I don't have to level up to be anything other than what I am.
Yes, yes.
That's grace.
Hey, that was so
I'm
dope.
gonna eat my red Skittle right there.
So I am choosing the same color,
Okay.
almost for the exact same reason. But my thing is, I don't know exactly what the future holds.
Yeah.
But I'm stepping forward with the grit and the tenacity anchored
Yeah.
in grace.
Amen.
To my bonus moms and to the girls who are in a relationship or those engaged to become bonus moms, give yourself grace. It's okay. It's okay not to know it all. It's okay to be scared. But anchor yourself in grace. Girl, you got this. And to the bonus dads, as my husband says, the bowl is filled with grace. Thank you guys for caring and being the men that you are. If nobody else tells you, you got this too. So I'm gonna eat my red. Oh, it's so good. But with that being said though, guys, you know, we love talking to you guys. This is, as you can honey, if you agree, this is so good and so therapeutic, and it just evolves into so many different conversations that just filter into other conversations. And I just love being able to share this with you all, and sharing us with you all, and sharing our family and what we experience, and what even things we're still experiencing. So with that being said, guys, still blend. Listen to us, listen to this podcast, follow us on all social media platforms. I am the Bonus Club, also Mind Blend Podcast, as well as please go to our website. And what is it?
www.mindblend.com. Go to Let's Blend and join the Bonus Club. You need to be a part of a community. You want grace? You got to be a part of a community of people who can identify with what you're going through. They'll give you grace because they'll be able to say, I've been there.
And then you can see us, get more exclusive from us, know when we're having events, and you can come on and we can talk all about it right in each other's face, all about some grace. So with that being said, peace out and keep on blending.
Like, subscribe, comment, come back. We got some more for you.
Come back.
We'll see you.
Love y'all.